So welcome to Cara Scarfone. Cara has spent her career working in public service. I don't hold the mic. Wow. Cara has spent her career working in the public service at the provincial and federal levels. A cheerleader for all things open government, she values the opportunity to engage with the public to find out what matters most to them. Come on up. There will be a moment while we change who is sharing.
Okay, excellent.
But if you wanted to use this,
Oh, is that,
we
is
just need to
that
switch one to the
possible?
Q&A.
Oh, perfect. Okay. I'm going to get my coffee so my brain can work. It's not used to being awake right now. All right. Hi, everybody. How are we doing? Woo! Wow. Okay. Good to know what I'm working with.
I'm not seeing your screen.
Oh, right. Yep. Sharing screen.
Zoom.
Zoom. Okay, there we are. Oh, I can see myself. That's weird. Share.
Slides.
That's my slides.
There we go.
Okay, share. Okay. Okay, cool. And then slideshow from beginning. Okay. Can everyone see everything? Okay. I'm going to try one more time. How are we doing tonight? Woo! Okay. You're awake. That's good. I appreciate that. It's going to make my job a lot easier. All right. So, as Tristan said, my name is Cara Scarfone. I work with the Treasury Board of Canada Secretariat, and I'm here today to talk to you about our National Action Plan on Open Government. So, I'm here with my colleague, Junior. Say hi. It's his first Civic Tech today. He's never been before. So I'm so excited to have all of you here so he can see what amazing people Civic Tech folks are. So first a question, who here considers himself an expert on open government and could probably come up and give this presentation for me? Okay, Bianca? Yeah? Yeah? Do you want to? Do you want to? It's worth a shot, right? All right. Okay. Who has kind of a passing familiarity of open government? Put your hands up high. We won't judge you. Okay. Excellent. This is good. Who here has no idea what open government is and may be questioning some of their life choices right now? No? You're glad to be here. Good. I love that. Okay. This is helpful just to kind of know where we're at. So to get us started, we've got a short little quick video that'll tell you a little more about open government in Canada. Hopefully this will. Oh, I need to join. Does it need to join audio? If there's audio in this, will it show up in there? Or do I need to join?
You might need to share with audio.
Okay. Okay, I'll give it a try. Let's see.
What is open government? Open government is built on three pillars: transparency, accountability, and public participation. These pillars help make the government more open, interactive, and responsive. It means working together with individuals, communities, businesses, and civil society to create a government that is accessible, responsive, and accountable to its citizens. As a member of the Open Government Partnership since 2011, Canada is committed to advancing the principles of open government, which will help strengthen its relationship with citizens, creating long-term benefits for everyone. So what's in it for Canadians? Open government invites everyone to participate, because the more diverse the voices, the better we can ensure the society we are building is inclusive. By making government actions open and participatory, policies and services can be more meaningful and trustworthy for Canadians. How to participate? One way is through the National Action Plan on Open Government. It outlines the government's dedication to advancing open government principles through specific commitments and milestones. A new National Action Plan is developed every 2 to 4 years, and Canadians are consulted throughout the process. Together, let's build a more open Canada. Visit the About Open Government page on canada.ca to learn more.
Thank you, disembodied voice. Okay. So that's my presentation. Thank you very much. No, I wouldn't do that
What
to you.
is open?
No, you already did that. Shh. Okay. Okay, we're good. All right, so we're going to get minorly existential for a moment. Why are we here? It's a big question. Why are we in this room right now? We're in this room because of the Open Government Partnership. So as was mentioned in our little video, the Open Government Partnership, or the OGP, because the government loves acronyms. So let me know if I say any acronyms that you don't know, please let me know. It just rolls off like a whole separate language now. So the Open Government Partnership is an international organization of various countries and subnational jurisdictions around the world. Right now, I know it's kind of small on here, but there are 75 member countries and 152 subnational or local governments. Ontario is part of it, and Quebec, I believe, is also part of it. So this organization is made up of all of these jurisdictions that are publicly committing to open government principles of transparency, accountability, and public participation. So as per our membership, Canada's membership in the Open Government Partnership, we are required to submit a national action plan on open government every 2 to 4 years. So we're just winding up on our 2022-24 action plan, and we're working on planning our 2025-2029. So we're actually going for a 4-year action plan coming up, and we'll get more into that in a little bit. So we have the support of what we call our multi-stakeholder forum, or the MSF, which is made up of 8 civil society community members and is it 2 or 4? 4 government members. So we did that on purpose. Some jurisdictions have an equal number of community partners and government partners. We decided to lean more heavily towards the civil society side because we want more of those diverse community voices. So they help us create our plan, they help us implement our plan, and I'll mention them throughout as we talk about implementing our previous plan and planning for our next plan. Start new drinking it. Every time I say plan, take a shot. Please don't do that for your own safety and mine. All right, so just want to make sure I got all my stuff. So talking about our commitments. So the commitments are specific initiatives that the government commits to in order to improve, again, the open government principles of transparency, accountability, public participation. You're going to know all of these 3 very well by the end of this. There's going to be a test, so remember those. So the commitments are used as basically a platform or vehicle to drive change. So these commitments are a spotlight on a specific policy, program area, or initiative that people want to move forward. So this is actually a really helpful tool for us to use to move forward open government initiatives that otherwise wouldn't have the same attention. So they would either move very slowly or not at all if they didn't have this international platform that they're put on. So we use these as a vehicle or training wheels for these programs as to help move them forward until they're old enough to move forward on their own. So sometimes commitments are actually carried through multiple action plans. So one of those examples, who's heard of beneficial ownership? Anybody? Kind of? It's a whole thing about, as I'm sure you know, folks who own 25% or more of a corporation, they're considered the beneficial owners. So what we've done in the government of Canada is created a registry where corporations have to identify their beneficial owners on this registry that's publicly available. So as you can imagine, this is a huge undertaking. So this actually started in our 2016-2018 action plan and carried through all of the subsequent action plans. And it was finally completed earlier this year. So these things, it can take a while, but having the push of the action plan behind it can be really helpful in moving it forward. So the commitments break down into specific actions, so milestones and indicators. And we're using this opportunity, especially with a 4-year plan, to be more specific, to be ambitious, to be meaningful, and make sure that, we're not just throwing little pebbles. Like, we want to make sure that we're really making an impact. And the commitments actually evolve since the first one. I don't remember, but I read our first action plan, and there were 2 things under open data, and one of them was to open data. It was a new thing. It was this brand new, we're going to publish some data sets. we're going to create a portal where people can go and find data sets. That was our big open data commitment we were really excited about. Now, you know, over a decade later, we're looking at, okay, what kind of granular data can we release? What different sectors haven't released data yet that we can have released? So we're looking into more specific aspects of data rather than just we're going to release some data. So as government departments get more comfortable with releasing their data, we can help them kind of drill down into more relevant and more specific data sets. All right. So our tracker, so once we get the commitments from the departments, we don't just kind of set them on loose on their own little boat out into the ocean, be like, okay, good luck. We'll see you in 2 years. Let us know how it goes. We actually require specific updates. So every quarter, I send a mass email out to all of our departments. We have 17 departments that have coordinated on commitments in our 2022-2024 National Action Plan. Big shout out to Sidra, one of our Open Gov reps, who always gets their updates in on time when possible, because I know there's a lot to coordinate there. So this tracker is fully available online. You can Google it. There's these cute little Smarties that show you our progress. So right now we have 76 complete indicators out of 106. So we're doing all right. Departments have until the end of this year. So the implementation cycle ends at the end of 2024. And so they have until the end of the year to get all of their stuff complete. Again, we work with our multi-stakeholder forum, our MSF, to help through this process. So departments will meet with the MSF members and discuss their progress, how it's going, what are the challenges they're facing, any advice they would have, especially if they're looking to communicate with specific community members. You know, we're having a tough time reaching this group. Do you have anyone we should reach out to? Do you have any suggestions? So that happens usually about twice a year that we get these groups together. We encourage them to discuss throughout the year if they have anything that they want to talk about or seek advice on throughout the year. We have the final one coming up in February. Our last round of updates are due at the end of January. So you can go in and see how we've done. And we're also, if you go on the OGP website, they also have an evaluation of how we've done so far on our action plans. So lots of oversight when it comes to implementing these. What else do we have here? All right. How am I doing for time? What time is it? Are we good? Am I good? Okay, excellent. Moving right along. So as we're finishing off our 5th National Action Plan, we are starting to plan our 6th. So we've got 2 going simultaneously as we plan for our next one. And this co-creation process it adheres to the OGP's co-creation standards. So the OGP has a big handbook of all the things that the national members need to include in their action plans while they're preparing their commitments, while they're going out and consulting, and commitments must be co-created with the public. So the government can't just decide, oh, this is what we want to do, so we're going to do it. Good luck. They have to be co-created, which is why we're here tonight. I'll talk a little bit about that at the end. And so we started this in spring of this year with an online platform, and we sent it out. We put it out online, and we had folks fill out ideas and suggestions on ways that they want to see the government be more accountable, be more transparent, and have more opportunities for people to participate. So we conducted the analysis of these ideas over the summer, had some really good ideas, and that analysis formed the basis for some discussions that we've had with departments. So we took all of the ideas that we received and we went to departments and said, well, this is your area. What do you want to do with this? Can we implement some of these suggestions? So over the past few weeks, we've been taking the feedback from the departments and coming out and talking to folks. So I was at the Canadian Open Data Summit in Edmonton a couple weeks ago, where I got this fantastic t-shirt, by the way, that says I'm silently judging your spreadsheet. They have a great line of merch. So if you're into nerdy data t-shirts, Canadian Open Data Society, just a plug for their merch page. So yeah, so I was at the summit in Edmonton a couple weeks ago, and then we went to Vancouver to talk to some folks at Simon Fraser University. We went to Saskatoon and talked to some folks there, and then I drove 2.5 hours to come to Toronto to talk to you guys today. So I'm really excited to be here, and I'm really excited to hear what folks have to say and any feedback and insights. So there will be a breakout group later, but I will talk about that later. I'm sidetracking myself. So once we've compiled all of this data, there's a lot of data steps in this process. So then we go back to the departments, come up with our final list of draft commitments, and then we post them online. So this is a continuous process. There's continuous consultation throughout this whole process of involving people in the commitments that we do make. So next, so this is a screenshot from our platform. So we had a questionnaire that folks could fill out and provide ideas and suggestions. And then we had an idea board where people could go and they could vote on ideas. So we actually had about, I think it was 950 ideas that people voted on in the idea board. So lots to work with. And it was really helpful to see sort of where people's heads were around the 4 themes that we are moving forward with. So the themes that we have, these are the themes that we're looking at for the next National Action Plan. I know there's lots of screens around the room. I don't know if you can see them. But our first one, inclusive and meaningful public participation. The reason we are here, that I am here with you today, we really, really want to get this one right, because we've done well on open data, we've done well on sharing some information, but what we really want to do is get people involved. We want people to feel like they have a voice with the government of Canada. So that's a really important one that we really want to focus on, and giving you opportunities to participate in the decisions that will impact you. The second one, protecting civic space and democracy in the digital era. So looking at citizen collaboration, funding for groups that will help protect democracy, communication, government actions, basically ensuring that democracy isn't just something you do every 4 years. We want to keep these civic spaces and democratic processes and institutions alive throughout the year, throughout the 4 years, throughout the tenure of the governments that are in power. Third theme, anti-corruption, public confidence, and corporate transparency. There's a lot of words in that one. Basically ensuring government and corporations are honest and fair, and abiding by anti-corruption rules and adopting integrity measures. So knowing what corporations are doing, because they play a huge role in the economy in Canada. And we want to make sure that everything is above board and we're doing all we can to ensure honesty and integrity. And finally, designing inclusive government programs and services. This one's fairly straightforward, fairly self-explanatory, but basically ensuring that programs and services are barrier-free and that diverse groups have a seat at the table and that everyone feels welcome and included. So it's not just lip service. We want to make sure that the programs and services that folks are accessing, they can actually access, because it is for them. It is for everybody. So we want to make sure that everybody can access them. So today's mini workshop, our breakout group, we're going to have some discussions on the various themes. So I have a link that you can fill this out online. So I'll be posting that in, I think, Slack channel or Zoom or somewhere. Where would be best? Slack? Okay. I'll put it in Slack. And then I guess folks who couldn't make it today can also participate. So there's a link to this going to be a link on Slack. So basically just delving a little more into the information that we received in phase 1. So people told us we want to be engaged more. Okay, so let's talk about that. Let's talk about how we can engage you more. How can we make sure that we're bringing diverse voices to the table? And then for protecting civic space, how would you like to see the government combat mis and disinformation, which is huge right now? There's so much out there that we want to make sure people are getting the right information and that they can actually find it. And then transparency. So what would a transparent government look like? Where do you think building public confidence and transparency are important? I mean, everywhere, obviously, but if there are specific areas that require a little more attention. And then the final one, designing inclusive government programs and services. So my favorite question in this one is, do you have an example of a government service or program that is accessible and user-centric? And do you have an example of one that is not? I'm sure there are several that are in the latter, and we would like to move them to the former. So really looking forward to some excellent discussions. I also have paper worksheets. So if anyone wants to feel a little retro, I've got colorful pens and paper. So if anyone wants a sheet, you can join our group and you can write some notes in there. And that is all I have. Feel free to reach out with any comments, questions. We have our email there. We have our website. We are currently trending away from Twitter. So if anyone can recommend any good social media sites, we've already established we're not cool enough for TikTok. So otherwise, I'd be leading us all in some kind of TikTok dance right now, but we're getting there. We'll have to practice some more. But yeah, so I hope to see you. We're going to have a breakout group to chat through some of this stuff. So if there are any questions, that's it for me. You've listened to me talk for a while, so thank you.